Hey friends, it is Amber from Amber Marie and Company. Welcome back to our channel here at Amber Marie Company. Today I have a special guest with me, and that is Ben Sumner. He is the creative help behind all of our crazy visions here at Amber Marie Company. And today he is going to help show us how to flock.
Do some tree flocking.
Woo! It's going to be a flocking good time if you've ever had one. So hit that subscribe button for us. Make sure you follow us on all the socials because you never know what we're going to come up with. But today, it's all about flock. All right, so Ben, lead us through. What do we have to do? We have several different things here that we want to flock. A lot of different textures that we're just going to try and see what happens because I've never done this before. You've always flocked everything for us, but I know that you are the pro at this. All right, so we have different textures. We've got a garland, which, you know, everybody might have this kind of greenery or garland at home. And then we have twig branches because you'll see in Rebecca Roson's video this year, she actually used all of our flocked branches. So we're going to have to flock some more. So we're going to show you exactly how we do that. We brought some real touch greenery out too, as well. I have no idea if flocking will even work on this, so this is kind of an experiment today. And then we have an ornament. We're going to see if we can flock an ornament. And then we have this really cute little a lollipop here. Love this. Pink is my color, right? So love lollipops. We thought we might just see if we could flock that too. So it's going to be trial and error for us today to see what sticks, what doesn't stick. But most of all, we've got our ingredients here. So we have our bucket of flocking right here. And then we have a sifter.
Just regular water. It's got to be able to have a nice fine mist to it, so that way when you're sifting the flocking through it, you'll continuously spray, so that way the adhesive, each layer gets its own little mist.
Okay, so we're going to be doing that. All right, so we can take away some of these things, and we'll just start with one. What do you want to start with?
Let's start with the branch.
Start with the branch. All right, we're going right to it. Ben put down some plastic here on top of our countertop. We're going to try not make a huge mess, but also show you how it's done. So you guys ready to do this? Let's jump in and do it. All right, we've got our pink bucket of flocking right here. And Ben has taken our little sifter.
Grab a good amount, and then you go to your item. And as you are sifting, you want to make sure you got some water on it so it's nice and moist, because that's what is going to make this flocking stick to the branch.
Okay.
So now that we've got a little bit, you sprinkle it, and then spray a little bit more. I don't know, can you see that angle?
I think so. You want me to get the handheld up here?
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Up close and personal. I've got my little handheld camera here.
And you can see how it's already sticking to the branch. Well, you dampen it just a little bit more. And then as you do that, you just let the flocking fall over the branch. So that way it's sticking and adhering to the branch at the same time.
And it's just building up layer. I don't know if you can see that. It's building up layer after layer on this. So you can make it as heavy or as light as you want. But, you know, we like a little heavy on some spots because we want it to look like fresh fallen snow.
Look at that.
You see that? There you go. Fresh fallen snow on there. All right, let me try another angle here. See if you can see it now. This one. Look at that. There we go. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. And can you, I don't know if it's, do you have to let it dry? Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to be able to see that it's like building up literally on the branches. So there we go. All right.
So the more you add to it, the thicker it's going to be.
What do you do with this? Can you reuse it or is that no?
No, because unfortunately the water is
wet.
hitting it, so it's just going to harden.
Okay. Well then how about, let's do it on the thick part here.
Right,
let's try that. Yeah.
Alrighty. So I'm going to dampen it, get it wet.
And it's not soaking wet. It's just damp.
And then you get a little bit of flocking on there. And then because you have your first layer, you want to add a little bit more as you're doing it. So that way it builds up.
And sticks to it.
And the more you do it, you'll get it down pat and you'll get used to it and you'll know your groove and be able to do it exactly how you like.
All right, so this is looking really good, Ben. Once you put the flocking on, as it dries, is it going to come off?
What's important is that it's making sure you keep the water coming as you're adding the flocking, because if not, you go to turn it over and half of it will fall off. So this is your glue right here. This is what's going to make it stick.
Because basically there is adhesive in the mixture, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, and we do have these mixtures. We will have this available to sell on the website. So if you want to purchase, you go to ambermarieandco.com. And I don't know what the quantity is, if it's bags or what, but we will have the mixture for sale for you. So you can purchase this and we'll make it really super easy. So you get the mixture, basically a sifting cone, I guess is what, or strainer. Maybe that's a strainer. Amber, kitchen terms.
Yeah, I don't think we cook very often.
Yeah, apparently not. It's already looking great. So let's go to something next. Are we ready? All right, we're gonna remove the branch, get it out of here, and then let's see what do you guys want to try next? And tell us in the comments right now, leave a note. Have you ever tried this process before? You know, there's lots of home recipes that you can do also for flocking as well. Maybe we'll do a video of one of the home recipes, but this is the easiest. I just got to tell you, it's the easiest way. There it is, cute little lollipop, and it already has some glitter on it, but we just want to make it look flocked. So I think, can we just flock it on the top here?
Yes, let's make sure we just get the water just on top. So plant this right there.
Okay.
That, and then we just sprinkle over just a little bit of the flocking.
Okay.
To your liking. Okay. Looks like powdered sugar. Look at that.
I'm going to hold it up a little bit closer then so they can see it. All right, let's add another layer, shall we?
Dampen it just a little bit. Try not to get you wet.
And you know, guys, this is probably a good project for the garage, right? You're probably not going to want to do this on the kitchen table, and we would probably be doing this outside. We're here at the warehouse, and we would probably be doing this outside, but it's windy today.
Yes.
So we were like,
no fans.
Not. Yeah. But anyways, look at how pretty that is. So it's already just building layers. You guys can see, if you kind of look at the other side, I hope I don't lose all the flocking as it's not drying, but that's what it looks like on the other side. And then here it is, flocked. All right, so it sticks to this. This is kind of like a chenille fabric, and it's sticking to that really, really well. All right, I love it. What's next? Let's try something else. I'm going to put that right there to dry.
I will say on the branches, you want to make sure that you let them dry. If you have a large, like a thick layer of the flocking, you want to make sure they dry overnight, like the branches that Rebecca used. That had quite a bit of flocking on it, so that took a couple hours to dry. I just let it dry overnight.
Did you? Okay. All right, so next, let's go with, how about this? I think this is so pretty. It's a Merry Christmas bulb, and it's like mercury glass with red. And I thought this is a bulb that we're going to be using on our cardinal tree. And our cardinal tree this year is going to be all flocked. So I thought, how fun would it be to try to flock just a part of this, just maybe right here on top. So I'm going to see if I can, you guys, look at that. That is actually, yeah, let me show you on our other camera view here. Can you see that? It's really thick. Look at how thick that flocking is right there. And that just, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of water. That's the thing. Don't, like, he's just barely spraying that. He's not getting too much in there. So, but anyways, it's really thick enough to make a little holder for me right here. Look at this. So now we have a holder for our Merry Christmas bulb. And the next thing we're going to do is flock it. So let's bring on the magic.
Alrighty. It's the first time doing an ornament, so let's try it.
All right, so let's try it. So we don't know, again, he does not get this like super duper wet. You have to look. And it's running on this right now, okay? So who knows if this is even going to work? We have literally no idea, but let's try it and see. Do I need to move this?
Yeah, so we can get a little bit underneath it.
Here, maybe I'll try to hold that right there.
I'm going to add just a little bit more of a mist to it so it sticks to it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, let's make it thick on there. Let's do it. This is really cool. All right, I'm going to switch camera angles here so you can see from the top how this is looking. I think it's going to work, Ben.
Especially on a cardinal tree, you know, like a nice mist of snow is on there. And
yes, it's just a freshly fallen snow. All right, so this ornament right here is just an example. Like maybe, you know, would I do something that said Merry Christmas on it? I mean,
look at that on camera, how pretty that is. Nice.
Isn't that nice? All right, so fun. That's going to go. And you could do that with any ornament that you have around the house. So here's a little tip, all right? I actually was going to go into our damaged and broken section to see what was broken, because I thought if something's broken, just put a little flocking on top and nobody will ever know. So, you know, those Radco ornaments maybe that you have that somebody smashed in and you're like, that's $100 ornament. I don't want to get rid of it. Okay, you know what? Just flock it.
Cover it with flocking.
Just flock it. That's what we're going to say.
Just flock it. Hashtag just flock it.
Exactly. We got a bucket of flock it here. And that's all you have to do is just flock it. All right, so what's next? Do we have something else? Oh, we saved the best for last. I know y'all have some of this around your house right here. This is just the PVC normal greenery garland that you can get just about at any store, any location. We have this, a lot of times we'll use this outside on something really thin or a thin railing, but you can actually flock this and it's going to stay quite nicely. And so if you have a tree that needs to be reflocked, like for example, one problem I know that a lot of people have is when you put your tree in the attic,
and it yellows.
the snow looks like a dog came and
Winston.
yeah,
right?
exactly. Winston, bad dog. It looks like a dog came and right. We all know what happens when a dog pees in the snow; it turns yellow. Well, ain't nobody want that. So if you have a tree, or like Ben actually has a collection of a lot of vintage Christmas items, and so this is kind of how you learned, right?
Yes. So if when it turns yellow, because it will, this allows you to put a fresh layer on it to where you don't have to worry about it, and it looks brand new again.
Yeah, I love it. So there you go. If you have a flock tree and you're like, it's yellow, but I love this tree because I love how thick it is, this is what you're going to do. Now, it's not going to be like easy. You're going to have to go through this process. But still, this is a way you can do it. So if there's something near and dear to your heart, you can hold on to that just a little bit longer. We've got our little garland. Let's go, Ben. Let's do it.
Now, depending on how much you want, like if you want it totally covered, then I would soak it. I would get it pretty wet because
Really?
you want it to get in there and stick to it. But if you're wanting just a nice dusting like we did on the ornament, then just a little bit. But we can try it.
Let's do like a soaked and then a light.
You got it.
And let's show the difference. So he's really squirting that down.
Get in there so that way the flocking is going to stick to the garland that's in there. Okay, now I'm just going to go back and like it's snowing in here.
It is snowing. Look at that. It literally looks like powdered sugar, y'all, as it's falling.
It's making me want something sweet.
Yeah, no kidding. Like this is like a confectioner's sugar. All right, now stage 2, round 2 of the water. And it's okay. He's just getting wet even right over the same snow that just fell, basically. So he's just going in, just keeping that wet in between every layer. So as thick as you want on here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, for example, anytime you purchase a greenery that is flocked or a garland that's flocked, when you pull things apart, there's always those little spots that didn't get flocked. I mean, like even this today, when we pull this apart, there's going to be some things. So if you're one of those people and you're like, oh my gosh, I want this to be completely flocked all the way, every little crevice and corner, and you are OCD to that point, there you go. You can literally get this out, get your flocking out, and start doing this right over there. Yeah, look at that. All right, so let's pile it on. You want to make it even thicker?
Let's make it even thicker.
All right, I'm going to take the camera here. Ben usually is the camera guy here, so I'm sorry I'm not doing probably as good as he does, but he's just going in again with another layer. We're just going to make it even thicker. Look at that.
And once you've got a layer, you got to go back and add a little bit more adhesive so that way it all sticks, the water. It all sticks on there. Isn't that looking nice, though? And nice and pretty?
I love it.
I mean, from a cheaper garland to, I mean, look how much it just steps it up.
Well, not only that, I mean, you're right. It totally steps it up. And the thing is that this is what, the $6.99 garland that you can get at any craft store. And then you take that garland and look how much fuller it looks and thicker. So I have to tell you, we were ordering some trees, and there was an unflocked version and then there was a flocked version. And I kept trying to tell the guy, I'm like, that's not the same tree. It's not the same tree. He's like, Amber, it's the same tree. He said, but when you flock it, it makes all the branches look different. And I was like, well, I know, but I mean, it should be the branches should still be the same. And I mean, like, poor guy, I went probably round and round with him. He's like, I'm telling you, it's going to look different. Well, now, Dave, you're right. I see what you're saying. It covers the ends and the tips. So it does make this look different. Can we add more?
Let's do it.
All right, let's add more. If you're the one that wants the chunky, thick snow, then you can do that on there. I mean, look at how it's collecting in these little pockets right here. So you can see it's collecting down there in those little pockets, and that's making those really thick, chunky parts of snow. Oh, it's so pretty.
Then I always like to go back, and you'll see there's a little bit of glitter that's not going through. You can just pick that up and then just do it by hand to where the glitter gets in there, and it will stick as well once it's dry.
Look how pretty that is.
Isn't that beautiful?
All right, so it's sparkly, it's thick and pretty, and I love that. Oh yeah, like that. That's a really good little pocket right there. I hope you guys can see that. All right, so what if they just want the dust? Because we have some trees that are like flocked, and then we have some trees where it says dust, like snow dust.
Let me grab a little bit more flocking from our bucket.
I'm going to move this down just a little bit here. Secure this at the end here. All right. And also, too, notice that I'm going in and I am trying to at least spread these branches out so that it's kind of already ready and pre-fluffed.
Yes. Just like if it's snowing outside, wherever it falls is where it's going to land.
And you know, the other thing is if you had lights, you can totally do this over the lights too, right?
Absolutely.
Just
and that way the
make
cord...
sure they're not plugged in.
Yes, you don't want them plugged in, especially when you're squirting water on them.
Don't plug in the lights and the garland when you're squirting the water, right? So unplug, safety first, everybody. I don't want anybody to be like, we followed your instructions and I got electrocuted. Please don't.
No.
Yeah, please don't do that. But yes, you can definitely cover, right? Because you've done trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's nice because you can get a little bit on the light too, so it just gives a different glow to it. If you like clear lights, then it just gives a little bit of a glow to the light itself.
All right, so here we are on our greenery. This is going to be what, a light dusting?
Yes, just a light dusting compared to the heavy.
But you're still going to get it pretty wet, right?
Yes, just enough to make sure that it's going to get in there and stick. Mm-hmm. So there we go. So we've got our first layer, and then I'm going to go back and just add, just like it's outside, and there's just a nice dusting.
Pretty. So there we go. So light dusting versus thick flocked. Oh, I mean, this is really pretty. I love that. We have trees that are like that. And I love that, especially when it's lightly dusted, most of the time the flocking doesn't come off, right, and get all over your room or whatever. But the secret to that is to put a sheet down. And just take it outside or throw it in the trash or whatever. But here's the difference. Our thick flocking, the nice thin dusting. I love it.
When you add lights mixed into the garland, and you go back with the flocking, you're going to disguise the cords.
Yep,
so you're not going to see those cords. You're going to hide them with the flocking.
And then you told me, too, you can flock figurines as well. So if you have a figurine, like we kind of talked about earlier about the Radco ornaments, all right? If you have a figurine that, like, for example, I don't know, we have a nativity. And for some reason, every single person's hand at some point has been broken off. Like every single one of us.
I've seen that nativity.
So you can like literally come in with just a little light dusting and kind of cover up those little super glue spots that maybe you left a little piece off and it didn't quite make it all the way. So that would kind of be a great disguise too. But I'm telling you, it's not hard to do.
Not at all.
It takes a little bit of time, but I mean, not a lot. I mean, you could flock a garland probably in 30 minutes to an hour maybe at most. I mean, from start to finish. And you could have it really thick like that too. So I love it.
Just let it dry so that way the flocking stays on.
Yeah, before you use it, right?
Correct.
So what, overnight?
I would let it dry overnight, depending on the humidity outside. But letting it set overnight, that makes sure that it's nice and hard and dry.
Yeah, and that's what we did, I know, on the branches that we used for Rebecca's house.
Yes, and they turned out so nice.
It did, I know. They're beautiful. I can't wait to see that actually in person. I think it's gorgeous. So let us know if you have any questions. I hope this was informational, informative for you. And again, we'll have the snow for you to purchase on ambermarieandcompany.com. And don't forget, smash that follow button, subscribe, all right? Because we want to see you again. We want to see you again, and we hope that you'll enjoy all the other videos that we have going on. And we're going to be decorating for Christmas like crazy, so look out for more videos coming your way. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a comment and let us know what you liked.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming. It was fun. All right, everybody, we'll see you next time.